She's Out of My Life. That is a beautiful track from Michael Jackson from 1980. It doesn't seem like that couldn't possibly have been that much time since he did that. But anyway, it is now time for the new Supersound Showcase on FM 93.5 The Berg and WMBG AM 740. I'm your host, Robert Hodge, and we are sponsored by Culture Fix. Today, we have a very special show, a show like none other, a show that we have never once before presented. This is the return of the king, the return of the legendary Elvis Presley, but he has come in the form of Charlie Dunn. And Charlie Dunn is a local entertainer who has performed all over in various parts of the world, actually, as Elvis Presley, but also has an impressive talent of his own. And Charlie can sing as Charlie, and Charlie can sing as Elvis. He can channel. And, you know, I heard a rumor, actually, that long ago in the last tour that Elvis did, he actually sometimes used to channel Charlie Dunn. And I think that's kind of cool. Is that true, Charlie? Did Elvis do impressions of you?
Yeah, actually, that's true.
I think that's just wonderful, and I'm looking forward to melding the two together. And you are all familiar with my dear friend Billy Joe and the Billy Joe Trio, because Billy Joe Daniel is one of the finest entertainers in our area. He is one of the most talented people with more showmanship in his little finger than most people ever know. And I am happy to have both of you here together. The Billy Joe Trio is going to back Charlie in a concert next weekend at the Kimball Theater. And it is going to be a big deal. And if you did not get to see Elvis Presley, this is as close as it gets. You need to go and you need to watch what will amount to one of the Las Vegas experiences. But today we're going to focus on an intimate experience. Instead of the whole Billy Joe Trio being here to back Charlie as they will be at the Kimball, we have just Billy Joe on guitar. We have Charlie in the leather outfit of the comeback special. So that might be your cue to go to social media. You're going to want to see this. And of course, we will also offer our regular video tomorrow, the professionally shot, by our new cameraman. The illustrious Tim is in here with his cameras, and we are going to make a great video of this experience. So enough of my talking. Gentlemen, welcome to Supersound Showcase.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, because I am looking forward to, I've been telling everybody, you're not going to want to miss Supersound this week, because it's going to be something like you've never seen before. So I want the full Elvis experience, and I want a little bit of Charlie Dunn to make it credible. How about that?
That sounds pretty good. I think I can do that. You know what I mean?
I'm sure.
I'm up for that.
Can you work the lip today? Is the lip coming into play?
I don't know, man. You know, sometimes I got to get warmed up. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of...
Well, that's okay, because if you miss it on stage, you can always go to the dressing room. Charlie's happy to let you see his lip up close.
Absolutely.
I like that.
I've done that quite a bit.
You're very fan interactive. I like it.
Absolutely.
All right. So now let's go back. Let's talk about how Elvis became part of your life.
Elvis became part of my life back when I was a kid, because we had the album Elvis in Person. And I think I wore that thing out, you know?
Yeah.
And back then, I didn't realize that I could sing or anything like that. So, you know, I just listened to that to death. You know, it's got Tiger Man on there. It's got, you know, Suspicious Minds.
And when did the body start to follow suit? Was it just voice, or were you moving around the room?
I was probably moving around the room before I even knew I could sing. You know, because it was a lot of fun. But I really didn't get into it until it was actually a Halloween costume in '92.
Really?
And I went to this party. I won the costume party. And one of the guys said, "Hey, man, can you perform?" Right. And I said, "Well, sure." And at the time, I didn't have any music. I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Right.
So I learned some songs, did the show. The guy there said, "Hey, man, you should do this." He said, "You're really good at it."
Nice.
And I really started doing it professionally in '98 down at the Elvis Festival in Virginia Beach. So that I got involved in it in '98 and until it stopped in 2008. And, you know, I got to meet a lot of other Elvis impersonators.
Right.
And that's where I really learned to appreciate Elvis for the entertainer that he is, because I met so many Elvis fans, and it was just amazing.
All right, now let me ask you this, because I know you do sing as Charlie, and you are very, very much an entertainer on your own right. But what if you had to identify one thing as a performer as Charlie? What have you learned from Elvis?
What I've learned
that
from
applies
Elvis,
to Charlie.
Gosh, I've learned a lot. The biggest thing is how music can make such a connection with people.
Right.
I think that's the thing that's been my biggest takeaway, because I've had people I had a janitor that was, watching my show someplace I was performing, and I started singing "I Can't Help Falling in Love with You," and he started crying, and he said, it reminded me of when I saw Elvis,
right.
And to me that was powerful, and it's like, I can do this. I'm not Elvis, okay? Right. I'm just singing his music, but it still has that effect on people.
But what I like is you're not actually an impersonator. You are basically bringing the essence of Elvis into the music. You're giving it shades of the color that he put into it, but you're not trying to be Elvis. And that's a very good point. We don't want you to come to the Kimball Theater thinking that the Rotary Concert Series is featuring, Elvis Presley impersonators. That's not what's going on. This is more of a chance for people to just see you conjure the spirit of Elvis through the music.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
That's 100% true, because a lot of what you see, I don't want to say a lot, but there's a lot of Charlie Dunn in my performance, and I think that's what you're leading up to there.
Well, that's why I said he used to channel Charlie Dunn, because a lot of what I see, I saw him do, and I saw parts of you as well. And the interesting thing too, Charlie, is that so many times the Elvis impersonators, they take on such a stereotype that it's not believable. You actually have seen Charlie's show, and I know that it is believable.
Right.
And because it's credible, it's mostly because you're not trying to be the stereotype of Elvis. And that's the most important thing, because Elvis wasn't even the stereotype of him. He wasn't the stereotype either. And
that's the thing. A lot of impersonators take themselves very seriously, and I don't, and neither did Elvis.
But you take the performance extremely seriously.
Absolutely.
And that's incredible.
Yes, I take that very seriously. But I think a lot of the impersonators miss that point. Elvis had fun. He liked to play jokes. He enjoyed himself on stage, and I want to capture that image too, because if you're enjoying yourself, the audience is going to be enjoying themselves.
All right, so give me one comment that came from a fan who saw your show, a fan of Elvis. What was the greatest compliment anyone's ever passed on to you in person?
I had someone who saw Elvis in, I think it was 74. I can't, if it was maybe at the Scope. And they said, you were the best, for lack of a better term, impersonator, tribute artist I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot, and I've seen Elvis, and you are the best. And that was actually recently. That was at a gig I did over at Ford's Colony. Nice. Which is that's the biggest compliment I could get.
Yeah. Now, Billy, how did the Billy Joe Trio get involved in this?
We were asked to join in to back up Charlie as the backing band to play, and of course, me being well versed in this music, everybody in the band knowing this music, and going to Memphis.
Sure.
And it wasn't even a second thought.
Yeah.
We just wanted to know when the date and time was.
As I've become involved as your friend, I've been making it my business to let everybody know that you have a personal link with Elvis too. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, that's how I got my start in music, was as my first grade talent show. Everybody's got these stories of how it really, the planets collided. But my first grade talent show, deciding whether to do Elvis or Michael Jackson for the talent show. And then going with Elvis, and then how coincidentally later the Lisa Marie Michael Jackson connection. But
what a believable marriage.
Was my... I had heard a lot of, even before, because that's a young age, 7, but it was just immediate, all that music from the 50s, and Elvis being at the top of that for me, just, as a performer and all that, the voice.
Well, I got to be honest, after I saw Charlie, I was, of course, excited that the Rotary Concert Series is bringing this show to the Kimball. But when I found out about your involvement, it's all the more special, because I know your passion for Elvis, and I know that if anybody is going to be a part of this show musically, it needs to be you. So this combination, if you're listening to this, I want you to hear me seriously about what I'm saying. You have one of the most talented, superbly versed on Elvis, one of the most talented people in this area, who's going to back up probably the premier impressionist of Elvis Presley. And this is a rare opportunity to see them together, because this is not something that's going to go on tour. This is not something that is going to be a lifelong association. Well, unless y'all maybe sell it out, and if y'all tear down the Kimball, they might get the hint and they might decide to do it again. But this is just a one-time chance for you to come and see these two together, and it's really going to be spectacular. Because I know both of these guys.
He's not lying. It's going to be.
Yes, we're going to have some fun. There's no doubt about
absolutely. Now, the date of this concert is the 20th, right? Which is a week from Saturday.
Yep.
And there are not many tickets left. I know this for a fact. There may be a chance that next week I might be giving away a pair on the radio, so you'll want to listen to your show with Robert Hodge every day, of course. And I know you never miss Super Sound Showcase. That's important. But anyway, we are at the point where we are going to take a break, and we're going to have a couple of commercials. We will, of course, continue to stream live on the WMBG Facebook page. So if you are not already there, you might want to make your way on over there, because we're going to tell you some stories. And Charlie is going to do a special event where he's going to fish his pick out of his guitar so that he can play the guitar really, really well when we come back. We are back, and this is Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix here on FM 93.5 The Berg and WMBG AM 740. We are Williamsburg's radio station. I'm your host, Robert Hodge, and we are here today with Charlie Dunn and Billy Joe Daniel, and we are here with a special appearance by the legendary Elvis Presley. Now, Charlie, before you do this music, I want to ask you, this guitar has Elvis Presley's name on the neck of that guitar.
Yes.
That's not actually Elvis's guitar, I assume.
Actually, remember you were talking about earlier where he would actually channel me?
Yeah.
He actually gave it to me.
Did he?
When he was, I think it was like 75, 76.
Wow, really?
He said, it's got the autograph on the back, or it used to, but it rubbed off. So, you know.
Alrighty, man. Well, that's kind of cool. I had no idea that you had an authentic relic in the show.
Oh, absolutely. It's all authentic.
Yeah? Awesome.
Even the fake leather
and the
outfit.
belt buckle?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen that big belt buckle. All right. Well, what's the first song? What are we going to do? We're
going to do a little bit of Heartbreak Hotel. What do you think?
All right, here we go. This is the beginning of Charlie and Billy's Elvis show. This is their take on the 1968 comeback.
Well, now since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Lonely Street. It's Heartbreak Hotel. I said, now they've been so lonely, baby. They've been so lonely. They've been so lonely they could die. Well, although it's always crowded, you still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry in the gloom. I said, now they've been so lonely, baby. They've been so lonely. They've been so lonely they could die. Well, the bellhop's tears keep flowing. The desk clerk's dressed in black. They've been so long down Lonely Street, they'll never make it back. Well, I said, now they've been so lonely, baby. They've been so lonely. They've been so lonely they could die. Well, now if your baby leaves you, you gotta tell the tale and take a walk down Lonely Street to Heartbreak Hotel. I said, now they've been so lonely, baby. They've been so lonely. They've been so lonely they could die. All right, take it away, baby. Baby leaves you, you gotta tell the tale and take a walk down Lonely Street to Heartbreak Hotel. I said, now they've been so lonely, baby. They've been so lonely. They've been so lonely they could die. Yeah, baby. Oh.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, let me ask about what happens in your mind while you're doing this. Are you just the performer who's performing this song and you're doing your regular interpretation, or is there a dual side of your brain that's thinking about how Elvis is interpreting this at the same time that you're performing it? How does that work? Does it get complicated?
You know, the funny thing is, it only gets complicated when I'm playing and singing.
Right.
Other than that, it's
so Elvis is just a natural part of it.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing it for so long
right.
that it just is what it is. Because people who have seen me at work say, I can't believe you're the same person.
Right.
Because it's just a totally different persona
right.
than they know me as. But
right.
But as far as what's going through my mind, as any.
I mean, when you're on stage, are you thinking about Elvis, or is it just built in at this point?
It's built in at this point.
Okay.
Because, it's like when we were talking the other day, when you were saying, hey, the moves, that sort of thing. It's
right.
all, I've been doing it for so long that it's
okay.
just,
Well, that's great. That's when you can really free up and be an entertainer. So that's great. Billy, what are your thoughts on this? How is this like in your mind as far as Charlie's Elvis quotient? Let's put it on a 1 to 5. Is how Elvis is Elvis over here in this corner? How's he doing?
He's at about a 5.5 right now.
Yeah,
because of that spirit and that approach to it, of having fun with it, and
right.
That's really how Elvis was. You see him in any rehearsal, you see him on stage. He was always never taking himself too seriously.
Yeah, so not to put words in your mouth, I'm assuming you're going to be real proud to be on stage with Charlie.
Oh, absolutely. And
that's
that balance of humor, but also very serious passion and
awesome.
Just to add to that, I mean, I think Billy Joe is exactly the same way, because the first time I saw him perform, I said, he's got the talent, and he's also got that same, spirit about just enjoying himself. I mean,
right.
you can see it when he plays.
Oh yeah.
And it's just crazy because we're a lot alike in a lot of ways in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Especially hair, I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I mean.
Okay, what's the next song, dude?
I have no idea. What are we doing?
Can't Help Falling in Love, right?
We're doing Can't Help Falling in Love. My full band is not here, but anyway, let's hit it.
All right.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? For I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. So take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Can't help falling in love with you. Yeah.
Very nice. I like it, the laid back Elvis, and he was such a master of those ballads. That really was an important part of what he did. And as high energy as that show would be, like a freight train going across that stage, when it all of a sudden brought down to the bare bones of that voice, that really is what drove fans wild. So that's fantastic. All right, so what is the next thing that you're going to do for us?
We're going to do One Night with You. How about that?
All right.
That one, I can definitely tell you that's what we're doing.
Awesome. I'm so proud of you.
That's what I'm here for.
All right. Well, it's hard to believe that we are here on the third song. I always hate when the third song comes around because it means we're close to the end of the show. But just a reminder to you, a week from Saturday on July the 20th, the Rotary, James City County Rotary Club, every year they do this concert series. This is the third of 4 concerts. The last one will be next month in August, but this is their July entry into the concert arena. And, this gives you a chance to go out and have a wonderful time and also support a local humanitarian group, a local philanthropic group that does a lot of good in our community. And there are several beneficiaries of the money that they raise from these particular concerts. And I have to tell you, if you can be free on Saturday night, you will not only be doing something great for the Rotarians, but you will also be doing something great for Billy Joe Trio and for Charlie Dunn. Because, this is not something that just happens as easy as they make it look. They work hard, and they make this effort to do a show that's going to be entertaining. And the greatest reward that an entertainer can ever have is a full house of very responsive people. And if you're listening and you're enjoying what you're hearing, let me just tell you, it's 1,000 times better live and in person and with the full act on the stage. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be in an absolutely stunning costume. He's going to put on a great performance, and it's your one chance to reminisce about how you felt about Elvis when he was really alive. And you know what? Do it for Elvis. Go see this show. Let's have the ending.
All right, let's hit it, man.
Yeah, one night with you is what I'm now praying for. The things that we two could plan, come on baby, will make my dreams come true. Yeah, just to call my name, oh, and I'll be right by your side, 'cause I need your sweet helping hand. My love's too strong to hide. Here we go, baby. Always lived very quiet life. Man, I ain't never did no wrong. Here we go, baby. Now I know my very quiet life has been too lonely, too long. Yeah, one night with you is what I'm now praying for. The things that we do to plan will make my dreams come true. Always lived a very quiet life. Man, I ain't never. Now I know my very quiet life has been too lonely, too long. Yeah, one night with you is what I'm now praying for. The things that we two could plan, come on, baby, would make my dreams come true. All right, thank you very much. That's right.
All right is right, because I'm telling you what, this has been a great time. I've had a wonderful afternoon, and thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for being here, because without you, there wouldn't be any reason for Super Sound Showcase, and it wouldn't be possible without our friends at Culture Fix. So to Steve and to Jen and to Shirley, thank you all for sponsoring Super Sound Showcase every week here on FM 93.5 The Berg and WMBG AM 740. It is my pleasure to host this show. I am Robert Hodge, and you can join me tomorrow for your show with Robert Robert Hodge at noon. And thank you so much. And we look forward to the next episode of Super Sound Showcase. In the meantime, we go back to the music that you love. Here is Culture Club with Miss Me Blind.